Hello, my name is Anjani Segrist, and this video has to do with Mars, the way we project our energy out into the world, the way we assert ourselves, our inner fire, rage, aggression, masculinity overall, and also our perception. Because in Tantra Yoga, perception and masculinity, or the male, the heat, the fire, the sun, they're all related. So when we inhale, we breathe in moon energy, like imagining Shiva as the moon, breathing that in, breathing that down into the pelvic bowl being where Shakti resides, that Kundalini energy. They merge in the pelvis as the moon. And when they rise up, it's the sun and the way that we light up what we're looking at, because the fire is related to the eyes in Ayurveda, and that we're able to illuminate what it is that we see in our perception. So this goes beyond just looking at objects in the world. It has to do with the way we perceive each other, events in the world, things that are happening. It's our viewpoint, which comes from our own self. So I wanted to use this mandala as a sort of visual, because it's something that I use a lot in my meditations, imagining myself at the center of the mandala, and then each of these little things representing other people in my life, family members, and at each one of these, as they go out, they are the center of their own mandala. And then from their point of awareness, they extend out to other things, people, beings, places, and their perception of awareness. And at each juncture, each being is rightfully seeing themselves in the center of their own awareness. If you trace it all back, there is this, just awareness, pure conscious awareness. But we each are going to be perceiving from our own center place on that mandala. So whenever you blame somebody else for something that you perceive in your own awareness, it's incorrect. It is not a correct way to view the world. And I'm saying incorrect because there's a better way to do it, but it's not necessarily that there's a right and a wrong way to do it, just that there are more liberating and empowering ways to use your perceptive powers. And one thing that I recently had I've been working a lot with people in pre-Saturn return phase. So Saturn return happens between 28 and 30, and it's where we step into adulthood. Astrologically, we become officially an adult because we've had our first initiation, big time initiation with Saturn. And before Saturn return, what I've been noticing is that people are still seeing things happening to them, and haven't seemed to really grasp that it's their perception and the way that they're seeing these things happening to them. And it could just be it's something about me. I have to own it. I have to claim, like, why is this coming up so much in my awareness right now? There's most likely a part of me that still does it too, that still sees when something is going wrong, not able to find my place on this mandala or the wheel of life. I can't think of it right now, and that's probably why it's showing up. But anyway, when we're able to see that, when it rains, who's there? You are. When something goes good, who is there? You are. When something goes bad, each time these events are happening, the common denominator is you and your awareness, your perception of those things. So say imagining you're here and something happens over here. Let's say like there's something that we hear about happening on the news, and it ripples out and it affects everything, and it also affects your perception, so then you're going to have a feeling about it, and not everybody. Some people I have a friend who has Leo rising, and he's continually saying that it's not, that he won't have, it won't ripple to him. Somehow he's excluded from the ripple effect, and or that he's able to make a choice not to respond. But I feel like our physical bodies, especially when the topics are so hot and heated, and some of the things, I don't watch the news, but when I hear about it or find out about different things, it's just really shattering to me. And I feel like we are getting these, like, getting broken down into different bits and pieces so that we can come back and building something different and new. And this has a lot to do with Mars, a lot to do with our own inner Mars. Mars is often related to the sun, which is also related to the heart, because this pumping, creating, loving, connecting, serving, the sun is really so much in service to us that it, our physical hearts feed every thing in our body. The veins, the arteries, every cell needs to have fresh blood, and the oxygen that goes through the lungs and gets pumped into the cells and comes back, and that whole thing is relating to the sun of your own awareness. And Mars is a lot like that. Not the same, but a lot like that, in that force that it takes to get the blood from the heart to the feet. The force that it takes to get your inner will, your inner desire to pump through you and be expressed out into the world. So Mars is like really close to the Earth right now. We're having this real huge impact with Mars and our own masculine energy. And this is going to go on for a while, at least till September. Mars is right on the south node right now. I've checked I've been watching it and tracking it because it's directly on my natal Venus position. So really seeing that integration of my masculine energy, my view of masculinity, the way that I'm working with my own energy and working with people in my profession with this will and the force and, anger, rage, frustration, and also that beautiful transformation that happens with anger and rage, and that fire that can really burn through everything in you and create this new thing. So just when you realize that your perception is coming from you, these things happening, also what you're doing, what this video that I'm making right now, I'm doing it here, don't care if anybody watches it or not. Somebody will watch it most likely, and whatever is going to happen, they're going to change something in their mind, and it's going to ripple out. It's going to ripple out. And whatever changes that happen in the periphery of that ripple back in, ripples out, ripples back in. That's how change happens. So when we are powerfully creating with our own perception, our manifestation is more powerful when you're actually owning your perception, because that emotion that you put into the feelings that come up and the energy in motion, then when you say, oh, well, that's because she did that, she's doing witchcraft, she's whatever, whatever else, oh, it was her fault, she did this and then this happened. Now you're giving all of that power and energy to that person and making yourself void of power. Why do you want to do that? It doesn't make any sense, because the next time you want to create something, the next time you're, I'm going to create this thing, whatever it is, a relationship, your physical security, money, love in your life, products, ideas for business, things that you're producing, creating into the world, now you don't have all your power because you gave some of it over to this other person when you were blaming them for something that you couldn't own and you couldn't take responsibility for it. It doesn't make any sense. So if you've done that, the best thing to do is come back to your circle. See that everything happens within here, that your awareness and your perception, when you inhale that moon energy in through to your pelvis, you exhale out the sun of your illuminating perception, illuminating the things in your life. That is you. It's all you. The power is yours to bring into your body what you perceive into your pelvis, exhale it out, and illuminate again. This cycle is happening every time you take a breath, and it's within you. So if you're having a bad experience about something, you want to blame something on somebody else, see first just working with that breathing pattern. Working with that breathing pattern, just moon energy coming in, cooling like a fall day, and then filling up the pelvic bowl, meeting your own Kundalini, your own Shakti power. And then on the exhale, bringing Shakti all the way up, out, like the sun, illuminating whatever it is you're perceiving. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about this, please leave the question here, give a comment, subscribe to my channel. I am also investigating the Mars mysteries. I'm obviously not a male. I work with masculine energy, and I'm learning more and more how to integrate that masculine energy into my life. But I would love to hear from you. How do you work with masculine energy? How do you work with owning your power, owning the power of your perception? I